So the time has come where we could talk about possibly the biggest fumble of the deadline. Let's hear about these Angels.
I've never seen a guy throw more cutters down the middle and just see guys swing right through it.
I mean, if you're a fan base of a team that's competitive, I don't care if you're close with those 85 as long as it closes the game.
40% of their active roster is gone, and they went and sold everybody.
I did think it was a little strange that you're building up this talent and you get rid of a guy that you have control over for the next 3 years, but he's the hot guy.
If you look that up and you play it, if somebody came out of the bullpen, lights flashing,
Cue the edit.
yeah.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Play-by-Play podcast. I am Andrew Sabija, and I'm here with Cody, and I'm here with Brian. And today we're just going to talk about the MLB trade deadline, who we think were the kind of winners, losers, and just kind of grading what we thought of people's trades, because a lot of people had some holes to fill, and we'll discuss whether or not we agree with them or not. So first one I kind of want to jump to is I know you guys had some big trades for your teams. So I'll go with the sexier one right now. And what do you think of the Mets trade deadline?
Oh, actually, that's one. I thought we were doing Carlos. I'm not gonna lie. When you said sexy, I was like,
No,
I thought we should just jump straight into Mason Miller.
Okay, I mean,
All right.
we'll certainly get to that.
Yeah. We can talk about our own teams though first.
okay, so we'll talk about our own teams. I can't wait for.
There's not much for me
So,
to talk
I know.
about, so it'll be quick.
I mean, in total, it was a great trade deadline for the Mets. You'd look at the Mets, and they needed a center fielder, and they needed some bullpen help because of some injuries, and they got both. I mean, I thought it was a really nice trade deadline because you'd expect with the high price of relievers, it seemed like this year that they were going to give away someone that I don't think the fans really wanted to give away, someone like Tong or Sprout.
Yeah.
Maybe, better not give away Jet, but either way. They got away with getting two exceptional guys with Rogers and Housley and didn't give up a top 5 prospect or anything like that. And then to cap it off, they got Cedric Mullins. I know there's a whole lot of conversation about some regression with Cedric Mullins, but back, what was that? Well, you said the text earlier, back was in like May when I was like, I want the Mets to get Cedric Mullins.
It only took a couple months.
It did. But I mean, I was all for it. Of course, obviously, I would have liked Luis Robert, but it's kind of weird for me because it's not like either of them are having like fantastic seasons. Obviously, you have more power with Lubob, but
Cedric's on pace for a 2020 season.
Yeah.
So it's not like Cedric's, I mean, he's hitting like 220 or something like that, but he still got some pop. He's still showing speed. So I think
the Mets have like 6 total home runs from a center fielder this year or something like that. So you just have to look up. You just have to look up how many home runs Tyrone Taylor has, and I don't think Jeff has hit one as a center fielder. So, but yeah, I mean, that's obviously adding the pop. The Mets offense has really struggled. They have a few injuries that I feel like are nagging. Something we can get on, talk about in a later pod, but those hand or like just small injuries that would hurt someone when they're hitting, like a hand injury. Pete's dealing with a hand. Lindor broke his foot. He's been struggling since then. And now Juan Soto fouled a ball off his ankle and had to leave a game. So when you're talking about the 3 key guys, those 3 key guys, so adding more depth to the lineup is always amazing. And now they are back to having an elite bullpen. So to tie a bow on the entire thing, I'm insanely impressed once again with David Stern's ability to move pieces around. And, hopefully you can keep some guys. I mean, I don't think it's very realistic at all coming into the next year if Housley and Diaz, who are both on contract years, to be New York Mets. But I mean, at least now you can get, if you feel like Diaz is going to be worth too much money, you can get a feel for what Housley looks like in a Mets uniform and see how that looks. So I was very impressed. One other thing I'll add is it just looks like, for going back to Lubob, it just looks like the asking price was too much. I mean, they were looking to get some of those top 5 prospects, and the Mets really, what I do like is David Stearns seems like he has a really good balance of getting really good talent like Soto, keeping Alonso and all that, but then also giving young guys a shot. I mean, the Mets obviously in their $25 man roster have Mark Vientos and Ronnie Mauricio, Brett Beatty, and Luis Angel Acuna. So I think that when he sees somebody he really likes, he's going to keep them no matter what. And he can still get really good players with the other prospects that they have.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think the Mets definitely had a huge trade deadline.
Definitely.
They saw their needs, like you said, and they went and addressed them.
Hopefully they don't get hurt.
Yeah,
especially that bullpen.
That's why
Especially that bullpen.
So I know we said somebody here is going to have a lot shorter talk, so I'll jump into what the Dodgers kind of did, and I'm actually excited. I mean, they did very little compared to what we're used to with the Dodgers. We're used to Dodgers going out and getting blockbuster guy, big name guys. Even last year, they didn't get big guys. You still come away with Michael Kopech, who's somebody that everybody knows, right?
Tommy Edman.
Tommy Edman was like an afterthought, but still, everybody knows Tommy Edman. He just knew something was going to happen
until the championship series.
Yeah, well, he got kind of beat up on the Mets.
He was until he wasn't.
And so cleanup hitter Tommy Edman. The last week we talked about our dream trade. Now, of course, they didn't get Duran. It was a dream trade. They didn't get Jansen because we'll talk about the Angels later. But I said their offense needs help. They're not going to go get offensive pieces. There's just no point. Their starting pitching is getting healthy. There's just no point. So they did very hey, this is what we need. We need relief pitching. They went and got Brock Stewart from the Twins. Brock Stewart's somebody who's having a very good year. He's also been on the Dodgers before, so Dave Roberts is very used to him. Mark Pryor's used to him. They know what they're going to get with Brock Stewart. Now, they traded away James Outman, who last year had a very shocking Rookie of the Year campaign. Obviously didn't win it. This year he's been up and down AAA majors. He's a AAA hero, right? But he still gives us
a few of those
defense. He gives us elite defense. So he wasn't part of the equation, but what they do get back is Alex Call from the Nationals. So you lose Outman, you still have Alex Call, who is somebody who can be a fourth outfielder. So that's perfect. But those aren't the trades I'm excited for. The trade I'm most excited for, and it's not the Dustin May trade, it is the random 3-team trade that happened completely out of nowhere. We saw Zach Littell go to the Reds, I believe.
Yeah.
And then the reports come out, and all of a sudden Dodgers are getting 3 players from that trade. They trade away just a catcher who's a 28-year-old minor league guy. He's blocked. He's got Will Smith in front of him. He's got Dalton Rushing in front of him.
28?
Pretty sure
something like that. Yeah.
And I don't want to mess it up who they got back because they got 3 relief pitchers back. Or no, 2 relief pitchers and a catcher. But I more
prospect.
Care about the pitchers that they got. And they got the 2 guys they got. Adam Soronowski, who's a lefty. He's got 2 60-grade pitches. Those of you that know the 20 to 80 scale. 60 grade is major league level pitches. He's got 2 of them. He's had some control issues. But the guy I'm excited for is Paul Gervasi. Paul Gervasi is a 24, 25-year-old guy. And I went and looked at his minor league stats, and I want to compare him to somebody.
Oh, here we go.
I want to compare him to somebody who's having a very good couple years in the bullpen. So Mason Miller is the number 1 trade guy from this year.
Also in the MLB.
And he's in the MLB right now. And last year, Mason Miller's gigantic year, had a 14.4 Ks per 9, 2.9 walks per 9. 14 Ks per 9, 2 walks per 9. Gervasi in AAA this year is 14.0 Ks per 9 and 2.6 walks per 9. So he's got very similar strikeout and walk numbers.
Does it throw 103?
Does not throw 103. Does throw mid to upper 9s, right? But the strikeout stuff is there. Now, I looked at his stuff in the minor leagues. He started off as a 5 walk per 9 guy. Then he dropped it down to 4. Now, this year, he's down to a 2, mid 2 walk per 9. He's come up on the Rays twice in their majors, so he's gotten his cup of coffee. I think he's somebody who slots into that bullpen right away. All right,
in the MLB?
I think as for their Dodgers are out in their bullpen.
I mean, those are his numbers in AAA. So. What else you got to do?
Exactly that. He's got nothing else. And that's just this year. Every single year in the minors, he's gotten 14 or 15 Ks per 9.
How many more years of control do they have?
For him?
Yeah.
6. He's only gotten 6 innings in the majors.
Oh, sweet.
He got full control.
Right, you said cup of coffee, more like a shot.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's, I guess a little shot of espresso. So he's what I'm most excited for. But the fleecing,
man down.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, somebody.
Oh no. All right.
So Achilles
got
on.
But
we're gonna.
Sorry,
cut me off before I can talk about the Dustin May trade.
Some dude. We are to preface real quick. I'm sorry. We're watching the end of the Rangers Mariners game, and unfortunately, Thornton just took a little bit of a tumble here, and it doesn't look good. We were reacting to the fact that he was coming off
that Achilles is
coming off the mound. No, I think it's a side. I think it's his ankle.
Did he roll it?
He got up and walked, so I can tell you by experience he didn't break his leg.
Yeah, but the way he fell, that looks like an Achilles.
I know, but the feel on the side, I don't know. Sorry about this again, guys. We
Super
got
random.
distracted. Super random.
Sorry. Yeah, I was about to talk about Dustin May. So somehow the Dodgers sold more than the Angels this year.
Yeah.
Right? They sold off Dustin May. It's crazy because you don't feel like he's been in the majors up this long because he makes 5 starts a year. But he's on his 6th year in the majors, which means he's going to be a free agent at the end of this year. He's got mid-4s ERA. His peripheral numbers aren't as good. And they were able to get a first-round draft pick from last year. They were able to get Tibbs, who was the 5th-ranked prospect in the Red Sox organization. I think he's now 7th. So they got a top outfield prospect. And that, I believe, is just completely out of nowhere.
You don't want Michael Conforto long term?
Nothing make a lot of Dodger games. Conforto has been very unlucky. He sucked for a while, and now I'm happy he's out there.
I'm not gonna lie to you, and I mean this with a whole lot of respect to Mets legend Michael Conforto. Yeah. Nothing makes me more happy than the fact that he sucks on the Dodgers. If he was on almost any other team,
you'd be sad.
Except the Dodgers, Phillies, Yankees,
and
Braves.
Give me a sec.
I'd be sad.
I watch a lot of Dodger games, so let me just tell you how much he's not actually sucking. Don't look at the average. The average is 196.
Yep.
You got it.
Tell me how
his
bad.
Last 15 games, he's slashing 325, 400, 575. He's got
Yes.
almost 1,000 OPS the last couple weeks.
It's time to start getting paid, baby.
It only took
And
100
even if you look
games.
back at the last month, even if you look back at the last month,
he's hitting 300 his last 15. He still can't get it over 200.
Bro, he was down to 170 for a while. it was bad.
I think every time I looked, it was like 168.
But he's at 196 now. So the Mendoza line's coming up next. Once he gets the Mendoza line, and endless possibilities.
And then the Dodgers sign him for 20 mil. That's what happens.
I like that. I like that.
Yep.
That sounds good.
All right, so the time has come where we could talk about possibly the biggest fumble of the deadline. Let's hear about these Angels.
No, second biggest. I think Red Sox.
You think Red Sox the biggest fumble?
Yeah,
because the Angels are still at least competitive. I mean, I understand the Red Sox are really good, but
I would say it's more the Red Sox than the Angels personally. Only because I would disagree. I really don't know what Kenley would have gotten them, and I know I always trash Rengifo, but realistically, I don't know what he would have gotten them. I don't know. The Angels,
the best prospect in baseball. That's what he would have gotten.
Yes. I don't know. They just had so many guys that I feel like for a team acquiring them, it's kind of like we don't really know what we're getting.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like would the Angels even be happy with the return? Are they happy with these guys bringing them back? The only thing I will say about Kenley is I've been on the trade him block for quite a while now. I even said it when they got him in December.
Yeah. It was like we signed a trade piece. That's what.
I signed him to teach Ben Joyce how to close games, in my opinion.
And then Ben Joyce blew out his shoulder. Tommy John, I forgot what it is. I just know he's not pitching.
He was shut down, and I really haven't seen any reports since. But I think the thing that's kind of surprised me about Kenley was the way he's been a leader for that team.
Yeah.
And say what you want about them, but I mean, guys like that are important. And even I wouldn't be surprised if he came back, only because he seems to really like it.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know he loves LA. But I know with the Angels, I mean, he seems happy, and it didn't seem like he wanted to get traded.
How old is Kenley?
30,
mid to late 30s.
Yeah.
It's been around now.
Yeah. That 1-year contract for league minimum to the Dodgers so he can retire Dodgers.
I hope so.
Is soon.
He was on my dream trade list. I wanted him to come back this year.
No, you were one of
I watched.
You were one of maybe 3 Dodger fans that wanted that.
Yeah, dude, no.
You're one of 3 Dodger fans that do that.
100,000 Dodger fans who are stupid. I'll tell you that right now.
He's one of the guys that just throws it down the middle, and obviously I know it's a cutter, but I've never seen a guy throw more cutters down the middle and just see guys swing right through it.
When
I have a guy in mind.
When he was dominant,
I have a
when
guy
he
in
was
mind
like
that
at his
used
peak,
cutters.
he would come in the game and he would throw 15 cutters up and he would get the save. Yeah. And you knew it was coming. You knew it was going to be a cutter up, and no one would touch it. And he's been doing this. He's going to do that straight to the Hall of Fame.
Then when he blew like 2 saves a year for the Dodgers, every single Dodger fan was like, get him the fuck out of here.
I know Cody wasn't.
He might be the most hated Hall of Famer on the team he loved playing for.
Towards the end there, he was getting hate. And then all of a sudden he was throwing 96 again. And I'm like, oh, hold on, guys. Kenley is back.
And then he was
gone. And now it's like, I wish he was there still.
That's what the juice would do.
But I
he
mean,
hasn't been caught yet. If it is,
I mean, I don't know. I just for the Angels, they got so much they got to work on, and I guess if I'm looking at some sort of silver lining, I said I didn't want the Angels to get rid of prospects, and granted, they didn't get any.
Right.
They didn't give up any, so I don't know. I'm kind of in that weird space where, aside from really Taylor Ward, and then other guys you probably don't want to part with, like Reed Detmers, Jose Siriano.
You got multiple years of them, though, right?
Yeah, tons. Detmers should have at least one more.
I think
should
so.
at least
One or two.
But yeah, Siriano's got ton. But yeah, aside from really those guys, I mean, I don't know, like what was the team going to give up for Tyler Anderson, Rengifo? I mean, Yohan Moncada. Like,
I feel like Kikuchi could have gotten a lot because he's on a 3-year contract, but also you gave him a 3-year contract, so you're like, hey, we're seeing this through it, right? So that's what makes it tough.
I honestly think Kenley could have gotten a lot just with the way that bullpen pieces went this year, with how pricey it looked like they were.
Yeah,
like I understand Kenley's not the sexy closer that's going to throw 101 like Miller, like Duran, or like Housley, but I mean, if you're a fan base of a team that's competitive, I don't care if your closer throws 85 as long as he closes the game.
Yeah.
And he's only blown one save this year.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, how many situations?
Decent amount.
About 20
Decent amount. He's having a really good year.
No, Angels are only 2 games under 500.
His ERA is pretty high right now because he had one game where he came in and like gave up 3 home runs.
He gives up. That's a closer. He gives up all his runs when the game isn't a save.
Yeah, and they were like he's got down by 2 or something.
If you're outside of save situation and then you give up like 2 to get within 3, you don't get the save, right?
It's beyond 3. So
well, it's whenever you come in. It's whenever you come in the game.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he's. Technically, if the Angels are up 4 runs and he gives up a run, he don't get the save.
You still wouldn't get the save.
I was gonna say he's patent stats, but
no. You still wouldn't get the save. No, it's when you come in. You have to come in. Here's the rules: if you get 9 outs, last 9 outs of the game, that's a save no matter what. It doesn't matter what the score is.
No, some guy got a save like 3 weeks ago, 18-1 or something like that. Dude,
and then if you come in with the tying run
on deck, right?
On deck. Yep. No, and I think it's in the hole.
I would say it's in the hole.
I think it's in the hole because 3 runs is a save.
Yeah.
So if you come in with the tying run,
I thought if there's runners on,
that would still count. So let's say you come in and you're like, your team is up by 5, but it's bases loaded, and you finish the game, you would get the save because you come in with bases loaded.
That's crazy. That's a little too easy.
Tying runs on deck. I think it might be tying runs on deck.
Don't give up 5 straight runs.
No. It's high leverage.
Hey, easier said than done, eh?
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, this is our rule sections of the podcast.
But I mean, there's really not much else to say. Like I said, the guys that they would have sold, really aside from a couple names, I really don't know what they would have gotten back. So who knows? And the team, when you watch them, they look like they're having fun. For me, I like watching games when they win. So it's like, oh, really? And they haven't done a ton of that. So
hey, they're on pace to do better than last year.
Yeah, I mean, a lot
the worst
better.
team of their history.
I think they're already like 10 wins away.
Yeah,
11 wins away. So, but I guess all in all, I'm just happy they didn't trade prospects.
Yeah.
However, people want to look at that. That's my win because I did not want them giving up any.
I did.
So, yeah, I know you did because you love seeing me miserable.
No, if they win games, baby, then you just said you enjoy watching them win games.
Yeah, but it's pretty crazy. Well, it's crazy where they're at. So I want to talk about Mason Miller, but I want to bounce off first. The differences of like thoughts between 2 different teams because the Angels didn't really do anything. They were kind of out of place. I think Artie Moreno came out and said that he wants to keep the team together, which is interesting.
I think Perry said that.
Perry said that.
Yeah,
right.
Perry said
that. But a team who it was only 1 game behind the Angels, the Twins. The Twins sold anybody that breathes. They went and took out 40% of their roster. Chris Paddock, you're gone. Brock Stewart, you're gone. Louis Varland, you're gone. Johan Duran, you're gone. Griffin Jacks, you're gone.
Harrison
Bader, you're gone.
Willie Castro.
40% of their active roster is gone, and they went and sold everybody. Carlos Correa, you're gone for peanuts. Like, we don't care. Just get out of here, right? Go have fun in the Astros. They are hitting a hard reset. Now, even though they're hitting that hard reset, they're keeping guys like Royce Lewis. Byron Buxton wants to stay. They still have Joe Ryan. And they got back Taj Bradley. So they're a very interesting team to me, especially with how differently they look at it from the Angels. Right? Angels kind of sat there and did nothing. Twins said, here is everybody.
Yep.
So I want to think, what do you guys think about the Twins sold more than any team in baseball this year? So what do you guys think about that kind of decision from them?
Well, I mean, I honestly think that the new owners had a problem with the payroll, or the buyers that they possibly have lined up have a problem with the payroll. That's ultimately what I think, which I don't think is a good sign for Twins fans. But, I guess any team can pay whatever they want as of right now. As a baseball fan, I hate it.
Yeah.
Even if obviously you want your team to be competitive because, like AJ said, you enjoy watching your team win.
Yeah.
But I can't see, even if the team is quote unquote mid or bad, like the Twins kind of are, I don't like it. Maybe I'm in the minority, but I'm not a big fan of getting rid of all your star players or star caliber players for guys you just have no idea about.
Yeah.
Like the way I've always seen it is like in a big time trade, right? Let's say like the Carlos Correa thing, right? No, they didn't, obviously, because it was a weird trade. But the way I see it is if we get some sort of guy in return, is he going to be as good as Carlos Correa was?
Mm-hmm.
And there's just no guarantee. Like I said before we started, I like when the Mets buy good players instead of getting prospects.
Yeah.
But the good players got to come from somewhere.
Everybody's chasing the James Shields for Fernando Tatis. Everybody's chasing that. Yeah. And that is like 1 in a million.
One in a million. Yeah. But everybody...
Josh Fields for Jordan
Alvarez. Everybody's chasing that.
Dodger fans.
That one is crazy.
But so...
Sorry.
Obviously, the Mets are in the position to buy guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't mind the Mets giving up some of the numbered prospects they gave up. But I would rather go out and get a guy, because no one's going to give a crap if you win the World Series.
No.
No one's going to care if the Padres got fleeced if the Padres go out and win the World Series. Right? Yeah. No, your goal is to win. Like long-term, different sport. Long-term, would you say the Detroit Lions or the Rams won the trade between Goff and Stafford?
I mean,
the Lions have been really good.
Yeah, but the Rams got
the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So I guess it just depends. Obviously you have more longevity with the prospect, but I like coming back to the Twins. I don't like it at all. For like I said, I think it's an owner thing, because they are up for sale, and the guys were good.
They were very good.
Yeah, some of their guys are.
Griffin Jax is like, I don't look at his ERA. He's one of the nastiest pitchers there are.
Yeah, and they Duran, obviously, it goes without saying that Duran's very good.
103.
You signed Carlos Correa like 2 years ago for a reason.
Yeah.
And so I don't really thank you for taking that off the Mets, by the way, because then they wouldn't afford it, Soto. But either way, that's just, I personally don't like it, because you were good enough, I thought, to where even though if you were to make some moves for some good guys this year, you might have come up short.
Yeah.
So don't go out there and get rental guys. Go out there and get guys with a year of control, 2 years of control, 3 years of control. Some guys that can build just depth. I'm not talking about going out there and get a superstar or something like that, but let's be honest, the Twins need depth. A lot of their guys get hurt a lot. Oh, former guys get hurt a lot.
Getting a look because Royce Lewis, one of my favorite players in baseball.
Royce Lewis
does not play a lot of baseball.
Royce Lewis is injury prone.
Sadly,
since Carlos Correa has become a Twin, he's been injury prone.
Yeah.
Byron Buxton, thankfully
Buxton's in his 10th year. He's finally healthy.
Exactly. But thankfully he's having a full season. But with him, you never know. Go out there and get some depth. Go out there and get some guys like the guy you got rid of that you signed, and like Harrison Bader.
Yeah.
Someone that is good on the bench, good as the fourth outfielder. Go get some guys like that. So unfortunately, it's almost like an if or a when, not an if. Some of your star players go down, you don't drop games.
Yeah.
Or you don't drop as many games, I should say.
Yeah.
That's what I thought the Twins should have done. But I mean, also when you're trying to sell a team and you have a hefty-ish payroll, and you don't really have the stuff to show it, that like, hey, you can keep the payroll. You can keep the payroll because you're going to win a lot of games.
Yeah.
Since they suck this year, maybe, like I said, maybe possible buyers were like, you got to drop the payroll, dude. We're not filling up the stadium, and we're 5 games back with the last wild card. Like, we're not getting October baseball. Like, I don't want to come into this.
So I don't know if you guys heard AJ say "goat" into the mic. That was AJ Preller on the screen, and so I think it's finally time we talk about San Diego Padres.
Yes.
And they definitely made the biggest splash, I believe, today, in my opinion, getting Mason Miller, and they got JP Sears as well. But obviously Mason Miller is the big one because elite stuff, elite closer. He's got, I don't know if it's 3 or 4 years left to control, but he's under control.
Added to this year, or 3.5.
Yeah,
if you want to look at it like
he's
that.
going to be a setup guy to Robert Suarez, who's already been one of the top. I think so. I think
you can't get rid of the closers already there.
That's what I'm saying, is that Suarez has been the closer there, and it's not like Suarez has had some hit and miss stuff, right? Like if the Dodgers got Miller and Tanner Scott was healthy, I'd be like, yeah, Scott, sorry, you've given up 8 home runs this year. Yeah. Suarez has really only had like 2 bad outings, I think. And then besides that, he throws he just throws fastballs. He throws 98% fastballs, and it's untouchable. So I think Miller goes to the setup role, which is, it's fine. That's perfect. And that bullpen is now disgusting. They didn't just do that.
They had 3.
But I do think we should talk about the Mason Miller trade first, just because of the A's return.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are saying the A's won this trade. And I might be one of them.
I don't think so.
I might be one of them.
I don't think there was a winner in this trade.
Okay.
Only because it's really difficult to say, because the Padres have an elite bullpen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Already. They had 3 guys go to the All-Star game and that are in their bullpen before today. And some guys that definitely probably could have gone to the All-Star game. So they didn't necessarily, everybody needs bullpen help. We've talked about that before. But I don't think the Padres lost this trade. Although it's part of their GM's MO.
Mm-hmm.
And they got a superstar. And I think that's going to help them beat. I think the way they see it is their starting pitching can't hold up to the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Because like I said before the podcast, I think everybody's playing for October.
Yeah.
These guys, these teams like the Mets, Phillies, Dodgers, Padres, they all traded to play each other in
crazy
October.
rumors.
They all played. I think what the Padres are doing here is the fact that they know that their starting rotation cannot match up to the Dodgers in the postseason. So how are you going to beat the Dodgers? Well, after our starter gives up 3, you're not getting any other runs, dude. You might get 1 for the next 7 innings or 6 innings or whatever.
It's kind of that Royals tactic from a couple years ago.
Exactly how the Royals were. It was like,
hey, to bring that
now
get us to the 6th inning.
But
so that 6th inning, here comes
that's
Wade
why
Davis.
That's why I don't think, now if it doesn't work out, then maybe I'll change my stance. Yeah. But if the Padres go past the Dodgers and the Padres go to the World Series, and every way, if the Padres win the World Series, like I said, no one's going to care.
Yeah.
And I think the A's win because the A's are kind of building something that looks like we're starting to get in a little bit of special territory here.
Yeah.
You know, you got some really good young guys. You got the 2 favorites for Rookie of the Year.
They currently have the best hitter in baseball. Let's be honest. Nick Kurtz is currently, the past month, the best hitter in baseball.
Yes. You have 2, I think even betting wise, they're the 2 favorites to win the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
So you obviously
probably.
I did think it was a little strange that you're building up this talent and you get rid of a guy that you have control over for the next 3 years, but he's the hot guy.
Yeah.
He's the guy that you're going to get the most return for. He's the guy that you're going to get DeVries for. I don't know if the Padres would have given up like DeVries for someone like Nick Kurtz, even though he's also turning into a sexy name. So I thought that was a little weird, but I think the way the A's see it is we have some good guys.
Yeah.
The Rockies have some good guys.
Yeah. Well, they're getting more good guys.
That's what I'm saying. For 1, or I guess technically 2 guys, but no offense to JD Spears, but
yeah.
But realistically 1 guy. We got to get rid of 1 guy, and we get what 5 or 4 back that could also be dudes. I personally don't think the Padres did what they needed to do for them to believe that they have the best chance to get past the Dodgers, and then the A's are building for the future.
Yeah. They got, I mean, when you talk about getting more guys, they got DeVries, obviously, who's the number 3 prospect. Now, you look at his stuff, he's like hitting 240 in the minors. He's 18 years old. He already has this season a cycle with 2 home runs in a game. Like, he is special talent from what they're seeing. But the other prospects they got back, Nick Kurtz wasn't 18 years old. The other prospects they're getting back, though, they're getting a couple pitchers. One of them is, I think he was number 10 in the Padres minors, and he's about 10, 11 strikeouts per 9 guy. He's in Double-A right now. And the other pitcher they got, they're both starters. One of the other pitchers they got all 3 of them were starters. But the 2 big guys is that guy. He's number 10. I don't know where he's at now for the A's. But the other guy they got
5.
So it's Braden Nett. Was he 5? Jesus,
Yeah, 5.
If it was 5, that's ridiculous.
He's their 5th prospect now.
Oh, he's now their 5th prospect. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's because all the good prospects for the A's are currently playing for the A's.
You make a good point.
That's why you got to take into account, like, obviously Nick Kurtz. If they were,
But DeVries would probably go into 1.
Braden Nett was the Padres' number 3 prospect, their 3rd best prospect. And he's somebody who's having a very good year. And the other pitcher I want to talk about was Henry Baez, who was the Padres' number 13, but he has a 1.9 ERA in Double-A right now. Like, he is showing elite stuff. So you're right, they're getting more players. Now, DeVries might not be up for a couple years, which will be just in time for, a brand new stadium in Las Vegas.
Yeah, but that's about that time where they'd have to stand Nick Kurtz.
No, well, Nick Kurtz he wouldn't even be arbitration eligible.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't even think
he wouldn't even be arbitration eligible.
Well, let's see.
Jack
What do you think
Wilson
coming up
would
at
be
like 20? So 2 years, I guess.
Jacob, what did I say? Did I say Jack?
Jack.
I say Jack. I say Jack every single time.
Who did you call Brett Beatty earlier? You said something else.
I would never mess up Brett Beatty.
Yeah, you did.
But I would say Jack Wilson because, sorry, that's my childhood is Jack and not. They are setting themselves up for Vegas.
Yeah. I personally love the move only because it's one of those things where when you're a bad team, and I don't think the A's are super far away, but when you're a bad team, I just feel like a closer is such a luxury.
Yeah.
Where it's like he's obviously incredible, and obviously we all know that. People who watch baseball, you see Mason Miller, he's that guy. But it's one of those things where it's like on a bad team who probably doesn't spend a whole lot, you don't want to put that much value into a closer. You'd rather spread it out to a guy that might be a number 2, 3 starter for you.
Yeah.
Obviously I'm saying that with Baez and what was the other guy?
Braden Nett.
Yeah. So it's like if those guys can slide in and be maybe 2, 3, and then who knows what the ceiling is with DeVry. I mean, those are 3 guys that might be impactful players.
That's not even all they got. They got another pitcher on top of it, which is crazy.
And but I'm just saying because it's like the A's this whole season, their pitching has been awful.
Yeah.
I mean, awful. And so I just felt like it was a reallocation of kind of potential assets to where it's like, okay, we obviously loved Mason Miller, but
we can't pass this up.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, for me, if I was the Padres, I'm giving that kind of package to the Twins and saying, let me get Joe Ryan and someone else.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's just like, you got Jeremiah Estrada, you got Jason Adams this year, you got, Suarez. And it's just like, I feel like another headline starter for them just made too much sense. I know they got, Pivetta, who's been pitching good this year. And they're going to get Michael King back soon. Cease is a free agent, but it's like, Joe Ryan had 2 more years of control.
Yeah.
So for me, I just kind of see it as like I get it. The closer or like the relievers are sexy, but I don't know. For me, I would have put that into a starting pitcher, but that's neither here nor there. And like I said, I like the move for the A's.
Well, yeah, but who? Like, I wouldn't say that. I like Joe Ryan a lot, but I wouldn't say he's worth the rise. In my personal.
Well, that's Joe Ryan's had a crazy. That's what I'm saying. If you're willing to give up somebody like DeVries,
but that's what I'm saying.
Pitching might help.
Yeah, I would have said, hey, let me get Joe Ryan and someone else. Because if for that haul, you would have thought that could get you more. That's just my opinion. I get the control with Miller. Like
so here, I saw this online.
It's crazy, but
probably just a random video I saw. Probably not trustworthy, but it is interesting. They said, what if the Padres are thinking move Mason Miller back to a starter long term?
That's gross. He was bad.
Bad.
I mean, you could try it.
I mean, it worked out for them with
Is that
King.
something, if you're going to give up that much, is that not something you think about?
You have to think about it,
right?
You have to.
You have to be, hey, we're giving you this much. He's going to help us a lot this year. We also have 3 more years, and he's somebody who was going to be a starter. And we can get him throwing 97, 98 instead of 103.
But I will say that I think that if you do that, and God, I hope not, but you better be at least willing to understand that one of those years of control, he's going to be hurt.
Yeah. You can almost say that with almost any pitcher, though.
Well, yeah. But
And they were so successful with Michael King doing that. So maybe they're seeing him and saying, hey,
I know, and I believe they did also do it with Seth Lugo.
Would they start off Seth Lugo?
Maybe.
I thought he might have started doing that in KC.
I can't remember.
But
or maybe he did start in San Diego, and then he got the contract with KC because of it. I mean, either way.
All I know is the reason he left the Mets was because the Mets didn't want him to be a starter, and he went to the Padres, I believe.
Gotcha. Okay.
So,
I couldn't remember. That timeline's always... I even forgot he played for the Padres.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
It was real quick.
Yeah, it wasn't very long.
Real quick. I'm not saying they should do it. I'm just saying, do you think that's something they're looking at?
You have you have to look at it. For me, I mean, that's something that I can get behind.
It's also
as far as for the... Because the entire baseball world, however you want to look at Mason Miller, I feel like you have to look at it and be like, God, that's a lot to give up for him.
Yeah, 100%.
But now if you start to think about, hey, if we can get him to throw 99 on a regular
next
basis.
Year we're losing Dylan Cease, but hey, who cares? Mason Miller, our starting pitcher now.
Yeah.
How many more years of control do the Padres have on Robert Suarez?
He's probably going to opt out at the end of this year.
So
he's
not resigning.
Yeah, but I mean, they still got Estrada.
Mason Miller's a starter now.
No, but he's not
going to resign. He's going to get a big contract.
He had like a 12 ERA as a starter.
Yeah, no.
Dude, that arm angle is ridiculous.
Yeah.
For who?
Rogers.
Oh, I know.
But yeah, I guess just to kind of I think the A's kind of look at it and like see it as where the Mariners, I mean, they're not going to go anywhere anytime soon. The Rangers are, bless you. The Rangers, and I feel like they're building such a good young core that it's like, I feel like they can kind of put together something like the Astros did, where they were bad, and then all of a sudden the stars kind of came all together.
Yeah.
And
they're going to be a dumpster fire for a few years.
And they ran a dynasty
just
for
trust us.
10 years.
Yeah.
So
I wonder if the A's are banking on obviously, hopefully for them, a huge financial boost when they move to Vegas. And then these good these prospects as they get are good enough to subsidize the team to where now the A's are a team that can afford to go out and get 1 or 2 guys. And then, oh, look, we have 6 unbelievable dudes.
Yeah.
Because we got them all, if they all work out, which statistically, unfortunately, is not the case. But and then, okay, yeah, let's go get a stud, like someone that like you can hang the billboard that they're going to run the ads on in Vegas. If it's not Nick Kurtz.
I'm going to...
Which they definitely should.
They do. They will.
Mason Miller as a starter. He made 6 starts. He averaged about 4 innings per start, which isn't great. But in those 24 innings, he had 27 Ks and a 3.7 ERA.
That's not even bad.
That's not bad at all for somebody who's a rookie. So
yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad.
He's definitely
except for the fact that he threw 4 innings
per start, 24 innings in total. But that's what I'm just saying. It's a possibility, right? It's something that they could be looking at.
Yeah, now that's something I can get behind.
I hope not, because if it goes bad, can you turn him back into a closer?
I think so.
Yeah.
This isn't.
That was a lot of confidence in my. This wasn't a lot of confidence in my.
This isn't MLB the show. Like, can you turn?
Hey, John Schmaltz did almost the opposite. He went starting, closer, starting. John Schmaltz is a Hall of Famer. I'm basically comparing Mason to the Hall of Famer.
Comparing Mason to an all-time great. But I just worry that the fact that you bring him back in the starter game. Okay, cool. It blows up in your face. No problem. We got the elite closer again, and then his fastball doesn't get up to 103 again.
Yeah,
that's what I'm.
That would be a big issue.
It'd be
and so you're trying to see, is he up for it? Probably. I think every pitcher wants to start.
Yeah,
right.
That's where the money's at.
Well, can he do it? Because like I did say, his numbers weren't terrible as a starter.
Yeah.
The strikeouts per 9 were lower, and he wasn't going deep into games. But also, no team lets their rookies go deep into games.
Exactly.
So I'm not too stressed out about the innings.
They're starters.
They're rookie starters. They're rookie starters is what I want to specify in deep into games.
Yeah.
So it's I think, like AJ's saying, they're giving up so much. You'd want to do that for a starter. So maybe, hey, long term, Mason Miller could be back in the starting role.
And I think
I'd be into that.
I think that'd be gross.
I'd be into that.
It could be gross. It really could be gross, but we've seen it now. Clay Holmes having a good year, right? The Padres did it. We already said with Michael King. More teams are more open to doing it.
Even Nick Martinez, sleeper guy
And
for
Nick
the Reds.
Martinez
He
is
Yeah, but he
doing
was a
that.
starter before.
Yeah, but he was really starting to pick it up as a reliever, and then
Yeah. And then the Reds gave him the chance to start.
Yeah, and I would say he's done solid.
And then I'd say you'd argue that maybe Michael King's the best, but at least you have some longevity with someone like Seth Lugo, who's been good for multiple years.
Yeah.
Now, that's the other thing I worry about is the fact that like you're not talking about, because this is around this time of the season where I'm getting real nervous that not necessarily that Clay Holmes is going to get hurt. Fastball goes from 96 to 94. And then when we get into October,
Then we keep pitching him.
yeah, and then when we get into October,
Well, the
93.
October adrenaline's going to jump that thing up, and then what's going to happen?
for like a start.
What's going to happen is come March, he's going to be donezo. That's
Well,
what
so
happened.
that's the worry is like if maybe the worry for someone like Miller isn't the first year, but it's a lot on their arm, even the offseason, because then he's got to train even more because he's only got 1 year as a starter.
Yeah.
To continue to be a starter.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It makes me nervous. I think it's too risky. I think you don't do it because how much value you put in.
Yeah. Yeah, and like we said, Suarez is probably opting out, so he'd slide right into the closer rule next year. It's
Should
just
not miss a beat, by the way.
it's just they gave up a lot. That's all it is. Yeah.
I wonder if they think that they can. There's no way. I mean, I think maybe they just feel like they can get a closer for 3 more years cheaper, obviously, because they're going to have to give Suarez
He's
pretty big time
Suarez
money.
has the last couple of years shown that he's one of the
pretty big
elites.
time money. It's going to be interesting to see who comes off the closer list first between Suarez and Diaz.
Yeah.
And then what the other contract is going to
And
be
set
at
the bar.
I mean,
Yeah.
dude, there's good relievers. You know,
Housley's also available too.
and if you're into Jansen,
I'm in
Jansen.
I
Is
love me some
Duran
Kenley.
is Duran done after this year too?
I
got
think he's got a
he's
year.
got 2 more years after this.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So yeah, that's why the
yeah.
Phillies. it was important for them to get him.
No, it wasn't. And the Harrison, and no offense to the Phillies or Harrison Bader, Mets legend, they went from 1A to 1B trade, getting, obviously they're probably going to start Bader as an everyday guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, going from Marsh to Bader or Kepler to Bader.
Yeah.
Yeah. But whatever. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm also an all-time Phillies hater, so
You have to be. You have to be. I'm gonna be an all-time Giants hater. And honestly, now I'm an all-time Padres hater, which makes me. I used to love Mason Miller, and he was somebody who I loved to watch, and I can't support him anymore.
You know what
That's gonna
sucks is
be
I
it.
actually used to. So one of my favorite guys growing up, favorite players was Trevor Hoffman.
Yeah.
And I always judge. I understand it's in his name. But I always used to judge Housley for coming out to House Bells because it's not original because that's what Trevor Hoffman came out to. And
Yeah.
Trevor Hoffman's the second best
I mean,
closer of all
eventually
time.
gonna run out of songs.
But now, baby, now ring those bells in New York. I just don't give a fuck anymore, dude. You can do whatever you want. But yeah, for a while, I was like, oh, that's like, I know you run out of songs, I guess, but but you can come out to a lot of stuff. I mean, there's not many songs, I guess, that are like electrifying for a closer, but still, I'll be the first one to say.
I have a song that is so electrifying. It was my walk-up song in college.
Some of us didn't get there.
Prelude 1221 by AFI. If you look that up and you play it, if somebody came out to that of the bullpen, lights flashing, bro,
Cue the
that's-
edit.
Yeah, that Prelude 1221. If you came out to that of the bullpen,
Copyright strike.
I that song, if it hasn't been used already, you're welcome to whatever relief pitcher is watching
Needs
this.
it.
He needs it. All right, so we've been talking for about 40 minutes. I think we should start talking about who do we think the biggest winner of this trade deadline was, right?
That's what I was thinking.
So if you're thinking that, AJ, why don't you take the lead on this one? Who do you think was the biggest winner of this deadline?
Man, I would have said the Phillies only because I liked what they gave up and they really traded away. It's a beautiful thing when you can trade away for your strength straight into your weakness.
Yeah.
And I think they did that with Mick Abel going straight into Duran, where it's like, yeah, look at our rotation. It's incredible. And then where are we struggling the most? The bullpen.
Yeah.
And more specifically, the closer. And who do we get? We got John Duran for 2.5 years, and we don't got to worry about closer. We don't have to worry about him, and we're just gonna let him pitch the 9th. and he's going to shut the door for us.
It's perfect.
So I would have said that. I just didn't love the way the rest of the trade deadline went for them. So I'm actually going to go to someone in the division and say the Mets. I think for them, the combination of the players, I really like who they got. And I think just the price that they paid didn't feel too steep.
No, not at all.
Whereas, we were talking about, obviously I love the Padre moves, but when you look at what they gave up, it's like, holy, like that's a lot.
Yeah.
So whereas I think the Mets obviously didn't dip into talent that far, but they were able to get like as far as giving away. And I really like the players that they got back. So I would say the Mets would be my winner.
I like that. I think you're right. They did not give up that much. I think Brian is very happy about that. So hopefully Brian's biggest winner is not the Mets. I mean, you could piggyback off AJ.
So that's unfortunate because it was going to be.
Okay.
But I'll go with a few shout outs real quick. The biggest winner is whoever buys the Twins. The other thing I was going to say is it's going to be electric when Francisco Lindor hits another go-ahead home run against Duran instead of Estevez this time in the playoffs. Just
my sweet prince.
Huge acquisitions. I'm trying to think about some winners, just some people. And I'm not going to be super original here, kind of boring, I guess, because they've been good for a long time. But I'm going to go a little bit outside the box. I'm going to say the Astros. I know we didn't talk about them at all.
Yeah.
But the Astros seem to not be able to figure out any sort of offensive production from first base. So they go and get somebody that played with them, and he's going to play the other side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I know Carlos isn't going to play first, but I'm saying they needed offense.
I was thinking Christian Walker, and I was like, wait.
They needed lineup depth. That's what I'm trying to get at. They needed some depth. And Carlos Correa is going to provide that, and he's used to the short left field. You could see Carlos Correa's power numbers spike.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if he hits like 300 the rest of the way.
And also, they got cash in the deal, right?
Yeah. They get about 40 mil or something.
And he had 103 left.
And we want to talk about control. That dude's locked up for like 10 years.
No,
it's only not that much.
No, I think it's 4 or something.
3 or 4 years, something like that.
But still, I'm going to say them.
They owed through 2028 and then club options from 2029 to 2032. Club options.
Yeah, see, so exactly.
Club options from 29 to 32 is ridiculous.
See, so that's what I'm saying. So since you took the Mets, I was going to take the Mets as they do flash up the Mets.
You want me to give him my honorable, who I was not going to probably say, but a team where I think if you were looking at them,
you're kind of the team that I'm going to say because
I would doubt it. For me, my sleeper team would have been the Yankees.
That is actually the team I was going to say.
Oh, okay.
I'll let you take it.
So real quick, can I say real quick another winner?
I do want to bounce off the Yankees because they are a sneaky
the other
team.
Two honorable mentions I'll give are actually 2 sellers. I'll go with the A's because, like I said earlier, they built what they did.
I forget about them.
I'm gonna go with the Orioles as well.
Yeah.
I mean, they
got a haul
of the Padres.
They got a haul.
Took advantage of the Padres, and the Orioles didn't give up that much. They still kept. Obviously, I don't think Gunnar or Adley were going to be traded anyways.
Right.
But
yeah.
They still kept the guys, and although the guys aren't performing well this year, you would assume it's only a matter of time. And they got some really good guys in return.
Yeah.
So I'm for 2 guys and also Cedric, but they kind of got Cedric kind of.
Well, they like capitalized on O'Hearn and Laureano peaking. Like they've been good. They're just not players that you expect to be good for that much longer.
And they got like a top 25 from the Mets guy.
And then they just gonna say they still got something good from regressing.
And then
Cedric.
2 guys also from the Mets that aren't ranked.
And I mean, they traded away Charlie Morton too, which like I'm sure they weren't expecting Charlie Morton to get them anything. And
it's a good retool for them because. I mean, I could totally see them if they get a couple offseason moves. Why can't they be in the mix next year?
Well, we thought that this year.
No, but I'm saying like
I know.
They didn't put an emphasis on starting pitching. I think they'll look at this year and be like, okay, that was a mistake.
We need to go. Yeah.
Let's do quite the opposite.
Believe it or not, we need to throw the ball.
Yeah. All right, so AJ kind of
Thanks,
he was
AJ.
going to
Ruined
say
it.
something about my sleeper
Alright.
pick, but before I talk to him, another team we haven't talked about is the Mariners, and they just flashed on our screen right here. The Mariners said, "Hey, you know what? We are always bad at is offense. Diamondbacks, you have a couple guys who are absolutely mashing this year. You have a first baseman who's hitting at 300, and you have a third baseman who was on pace for 50-something home runs.
Also, former Mariner, right?
And Suarez is a former
How many
Mariner.
home runs did he hit with the Mariners, though?
30
Oh,
and
okay.
for 20. I mean, he was an above average hitter for the Mariners, so he had good years.
He was just striking out.
Which he's still doing.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes he runs into one, you know?
Hey,
And
swing hard in
he ran
case he
into
hit it,
more-
baby.
Yeah.
Swing
and
hard in case he
they
hit
were
it.
also able to get Caleb Ferguson. He's a veteran lefty bullpen guy, which
Trusty lefty.
lefties out of the bullpen are always helpful.
And we just watched one of the bullpen pieces tear his
But he wasn't left-handed, and so
he
it
was
okay.
not, but still, it's still a bullpen piece, and he just popped his Achilles.
But
so.
the sneaky team that I want to talk about is they're probably not the biggest winner, but I think they need to be talked about more
Right.
is the New York Yankees. They
Mhm.
went and got basically 3 closers. Now I know Jake Bird's not a closer, but he's been doing closer stuff. Camilo Doval, an established closer. Right? They got all these closers, and I've
David
David
Bednar.
Bednar. I almost said Elsie, like
No, you
wrong New York team.
Wrong New York.
David Bednar, who had a terrible year last year, started off this year god awful again, got sent down to AAA, came back up, and he's great again. They got 3 top of the line relief pitchers, and that's something we talked about at the start of this podcast. Is you need strong relief pitchers. Now I know Devin Williams hasn't been good this year.
Yeah, he has.
He's
Ever since the first month, he's been real good.
roller coaster.
Looking at his stuff, he hasn't been great this year, but you now have 4 closers. On top of those 4 closers, you have a guy like Luke Weaver, who's established bullpen.
Yep.
Their starters have to get close 4 innings in the playoffs. And guess what? The American League is weak. It's pretty much just the Mariners and the Yankees right now when you're looking at stuff. It is a very weak. I know you talked about the Astros and like the Tigers have been doing terrible. It is a weak league.
Well, yeah,
Right. So they are saying, hey, what can we do? But it wasn't just the relief pitchers. All year long and last year, the Yankees get made fun of for being terrible at defense. And they went and got one of the best defensive third basemen there is. And he's a lefty. And lefties love to mash New York. They got Ryan McMahon. So just with those 4 pieces, I think they had a very successful trade dedeadline. And I very much like what they did. Oh, was that? What are you saying over there?
I said still can't play defense up the middle.
It's the hate watch.
Correct. You can't play defense at the middle. I think Jazz is more comfortable at second base, and he is up
For
there,
sure.
so that'll help. Volpe is crumbling underneath social media. I hope he doesn't have Twitter. I hope he doesn't have Instagram.
He's
I
not
hope
a
he
big
doesn't
league
have
shortstop.
TikTok.
I do.
I hope he does it. He got 16 mil. I mean, it's like,
He's not a big league shortstop.
but yeah, defensively, it's
He's
tough.
got 16 bombs.
He does have 16
Yeah, he
bombs.
does. But he's hitting like T20.
How many of them would have left in any other place except for right field?
Yankee Stadium.
No, he doesn't really go up like that.
Yeah,
he does.
he's got a couple.
Okay, to be fair, I don't watch many Yankee games, but I feel like almost every single one I watch, he's going oppo first row.
Yankee Stadium gets a bad rap because
No, he
yes,
pulled on this year.
Judge will sometimes hit a line drive that
Sure.
goes out in the first row. in
That's
right field.
ridiculous, though.
But Judge also hits them 470. to
Yeah, I
left
don't mind.
center,
I don't
and
mind Judge.
Nobody's hitting home runs in center field
No.
at Yankee Stadium. If you watch Yankee games, you'll watch Yankee games for an entire week and see 1 home run to center field. Like,
Well, it's the Yankee Stadium's dimensions are really weird because
very weird.
It's like 3rd easiest in left, the easiest in right, and like the hardest in
yeah,
baseball in
it's
center field.
ridiculous.
It's really
Center and
weird.
left center. So that is who I think my biggest winner, my dark horse winner is.
I like it.
And it's
Yeah.
gross. I don't.
That's what it is, right?
It's all right. You had 2 teams that you could have picked from that I would have said was gross. All the rest of them I would have fine.
I mean, do you guys have any honorable mentions? I know that we kind of discovered, but just kind of like, like I kind of like what the Red did
The Reds did, and honestly,
for what they
I
are. I kind of
didn't
dig it.
realize how well the Reds are playing until I saw them
really
buying.
good.
I was like, they're buying. Oh my, they have a winning record.
Yeah,
when did that happen?
By the way, they've been
Yeah, and it's offense for them. They rake. They got a bunch of boppers. They're getting healthy too. McLean's back. Marte's back. De La Cruz is one of the most explosive shortstops in the league. Yeah, but when they were buying, I was like, I forgot. I was unaware of what they were doing over there. So the Reds are a very good honorable mention. I like that.
Reds are very roller coaster though.
Yeah,
Very.
I
roller
feel like
coaster. That's 'cause they're young.
this season has been the most roller coaster for every.
Yeah.
You can name every team and been like, yep, up and down. Dodgers up and down. Dodgers had the longest losing streak that I can remember.
Oh, you mean like the Mets that went off of they lost?
The Mets were like
14 out
what?
of 16,
2 and 14
and
through
then
a stretch.
7 straight.
Dodgers were like they lost 7 in a row, and then they were like 2 and 10 around the All-Star break. Like that, it's ridiculous. And both of them, I think the Mets are still in first place. Yeah, or they just lose
Half
it.
a game.
Perfect.
Oh,
Both
actually,
of them
did
are
the Phillies win today? The Phillies didn't play.
Phillies didn't play.
I was gonna say there's only 3 games today.
So no, I mean, you're right with the roller coaster because the Mets also won 7 in a row, swept 2 straight series.
Yeah.
And then got swept by the Padres. So
listen,
it'll happen. It's
if the
baseball,
Dodgers
baby.
have to face the Brewers in the playoffs,
They're swinging bullets.
I just watched the Brewers beat the absolute crap out of the Dodgers. So like,
Hey, and
feel
you
like
could
let's-
argue the Cubs too.
so yeah.
So I feel like it's really strange. Real quick before we stop, I feel like it's strange because the Brewers are kind of a good matchup for the Dodgers. Because you'd say, although the Dodgers starters are getting healthy,
Yeah.
it's hard to stop an offense like the Brewers
They don't strike out.
because they don't strike out and they get on base and they steal and then they'll
Brewers the biggest
manufacture.
winners because they got Andrew Vaughn.
Seriously,
Andrew Vaughn is Miguel Cabrera right now.
dude, he is a joke.
I mean, I guess I think it's got to cool off at some point. I guess, but
Dude,
I mean,
look it up.
it's
Hold
one
on.
of those things where it's like sometimes a change of scenery is all you need.
Not just change of scenery, change of like
Quality of life.
Yeah, quality of life change. The White Sox, you're playing on the White Sox and you're like, okay, we're losing, we're going to keep losing, and we're trying to lose. You go to the Brewers and it's like every player is a scrappy player and they're trying to win and they're one of the top teams. So
that's what I was talking. But this is gonna go way too long. But that's what I was talking about with AJ when the Mets were linked with Lou Bob like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I was like, I'd like Lou Bob because I want to see him show up every single day on a team that's competitive. I mean, even people,
I'm looking at
like
Andrew Vaughn stuff. It's funny.
Even people
Dude,
like
that's
Lindor and Mookie Betts, who are on teams that, hopefully, most of the time are serial winning teams.
Yeah.
They talk about how sometimes in the middle of the year it's harder to show up to the park.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot. Now imagine if you're on a team that you just suck.
Yeah.
Like it's not gonna be the same. And then also you have no lineup protection
No,
at all.
not at all.
So yeah, I think change of scenery is very relevant for obviously someone like Vaughn, and then maybe even someone like Luis Roberts too. Unfortunately,
So
not willing to give up farm.
sorry, I was
for him.
looking at
That's right.
Miranda getting hurt. I don't like that. Andrew Vaughn had a negative 1.8 WAR on the White Sox. Which, if you don't know, that you're like a single A player. He did that in 48 games. In exactly 1/3 of the games, he's played 16 games for the Brewers. He has a 0.7 WAR. In exactly 1/3 of the games, he has the same amount of home runs. In exactly 1/3 of the games, he's played 16 games for the Brewers. He has 21 RBIs.
Dude, he mashes.
In 48 games for the White Sox, he only had 19. He's more than doubled his RBI total in 1/3 of the games.
But that's what we're talking about. Guys in front of him get on base, and it's just got to be singles for that.
But he's got an 1100 OPS.
And then
right
that's
now.
what I was talking about with like they'd be a perfect mix or a perfect matchup to beat the Dodgers because they're like the only team in the NL that from game 1 to game 4, because you only need 4 starters or 3 starters even in the playoffs, they can match starter quality
They
with the
can, for
Dodgers
sure.
on every
I watched
single
them.
one.
Those guys are nasty.
And so like you can't really say that for any of the Padres. No, the Mets. No, because once you get by Senga and Minaya, I don't think that Clay Holmes holds up to the 3rd starter for the Dodgers. And then the only one's the Brewers. The Cubs, no. I don't think Mike Soroka is going to help them with that much.
No, he's not. If he's their 3rd starter,
Yeah, I know.
they're not going anywhere.
But so that's what it's just really. Actually, I hope it happens because
I can promise you it won't.
I don't know. I think the Cubs were a team where you look at the big market that they are, and they should have done way more.
Yeah.
I just wasn't impressed with the moves that they made, and for a team that's probably been the most consistent team in baseball with how much success they've had this year. Offensively, sure, you don't really got to do much there, but I feel like they were one kind of nice, strong move away from like, all right, it doesn't matter who they play, they
Separating
look good.
them.
They look good, like
Yeah.
whoever they play against in the playoffs. So I would have loved to have seen more from the Cubs, and in my opinion,
Yeah, especially in a close division too. They were neck and neck with the Brewers right now.
all right, quick because we've gone
up.
quick, no
This
explanation.
is your second quick.
Well, I promise, because this has got to be the end. Quick, no explanation. Biggest losers.
Angels. Sorry, buddy.
Braves.
Red Sox.
Ooh, Braves just sold. Yeah. Braves should have sold for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for us. No explanation. If you guys are watching this and you made it and you fast forward and you skip to the end and you got here, tell us who you think the biggest winners and biggest losers are. And maybe we'll see you next week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.